everyone, welcome to my video for March. Sorry I wasn't able to get one out last month or my newsletter. I just had a little bit much on my plate, but I'm definitely happy to be back. I know that in January there was a lot of intensity. There were the two eclipses and you probably will have felt sandwiched in between them. Eclipses bring out a lot. They bring out a lot of intensity, and their deep purpose is to bring out from within what needs to be revealed and released. And that is often challenging and a difficult time. For some of you, things are going swimmingly and positively, and perhaps you've had a more positive impact. But for a lot of people, it really caused a lot of feelings of grief and confusion and anxiety and just deep feeling of intensity, and that can be difficult for people to deal with. It means that you can block yourself off from other people or get a bit angry and things like that. But overall, it is for your overall healing and well-being, because it's all about evolutions and cycles. So yeah, I did want to give you a lot more information about eclipses, but I think what I'll do is there'll be another series of eclipses in July, and I will work towards giving you information then to help you out. But I feel that there'll be a strong connection between July and this February, finalizing things that have been coming up. And even things you might be confused or unsure about, or that just sort of seem unresolved or not quite clear yet. I feel that July will be quite an intense month, but possibly quite spiritual too. And that depends on what part of the journey you're on, because we have the potential this year for immense spiritual change and evolution and growth. And this really depends on you and how you process and deal with things, and how you absorb the positive energies coming through and process whatever negative thoughts, emotions, experiences, situations that you go through from present and past. So there's a lot to work through, but I'm going to make another video on the 2018 energy. So yeah, definitely listen to that and just see there's a lot of interesting things to say about this year. It's a highly spiritual year, a lot of potential for growth for you on a soul level. So okay, and actually that's reflective a little bit through the cards that I pulled out for today. So we have a real sense of evolution, and whenever I get this card, it's really interesting to me because it shows different layers of how we go through these cycles. So you'll all have an experience of that dark night of the soul, or more negative experiences where you're really pulled down by life and you just feel like you want to hide under a rock and things are just so intense and so on, and you're very insular and contained, and often that feels very difficult to get out of. So and often clients are in that kind of state when they come to see me, but that would be the one crouching down there, right? And what is interesting about this card is, here's the next part of the journey, but I also feel so strongly with that, that's your guides, your angels, especially spiritual guides. I'm feeling more now, even loved ones in spirit, pulling you up, encouraging you on, crouching down to your level, because you're lower, you're closer to the earth. And earth, of course, is a beautiful positive energy, but when we talk about energy in terms of lower and lower, darker energies versus higher, it's like you're pulled into your cave, right, and experiencing negative emotions and lower energies, and then you have this encouragement. And while you might feel lost and like you don't have this encouragement in your life yourself, know that this is going on behind the scenes, and at some point there'll be a shift. And March is very much about evolution and energy shifts, and if you're on the path and you are processing everything, and especially if you're energy sensitive, you're going to feel a shift, hopefully. So try not to hold on to things so that you don't want to spiral backwards. Okay, then we have the next part of the evolutionary stage of walking and then flying. Okay, and what I found fascinating about this, I mean, I only just for a short while pulled out some cards just before talking to you now. and these two are from the same deck, but look how similar they are. This talks about transformation. I mean, I know anyway this is a month for transformation. The angels told me way early in the year. I mentioned it in the January video. And look at this card from another deck. It's all following the same kind of imagery, right? And this one, it's about flying high, reaching forward, leaning into the light, and allowing the higher energies to cleanse, but also guide and carry you, so that you're carried on your wings, but you're reaching for the light and the higher vibrations, and that is the message there. So where are you in that journey? So if you look at these two, I think of this as the lower, the darker aspect where you're more crouched down, or you know, what's pulling you down, and then you're reaching out. So where are you in the stage? You might be sort of there or reaching up, and you'll notice that shift. So I think that's really powerful imagery, and the fact that it came out in 4 different cards. Okay, so spread your wings and fly, definitely powerful message. So in March, so I'm still stuck in January. There will be a full moon in Virgo early in the month on the 2nd. And look, sometimes these dates might be slightly different by 1 day if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere or whatever, so do check in your time zone. But it's in Virgo, so there's that sense of that you're encouraging this, there'll be self-knowledge is very important this year, and your mastery of yourself on a soul level. And so during this full moon, you might feel that you're looking at how you can better shape your life. So, and also it might make you feel uncertain or imbalanced. So a good tip around this moon, but actually any sort of energy, influential energy like moons and eclipses. The reason why I bring them up is because, not because I'm an astrologer, it's because, which I'm not an astrologer, but I deeply intuitively understand some of these planetary movements and so on. It's all interlinked, as is numerology and other things. And then we have the cards to just sort of enhance messages and bring forward what needs to be revealed for your personal growth. And then we have the psychic and angel messages on top of that, and it all kind of interweaves and flows. So if you are an energy sensitive, which is most of you watching right now, and some of you empathic, which is like taking it a further step and taking on energy, you will be very, very influenced by moon energy every month as it is. And sometimes they're more powerful and more influential than others. And you know, and so it's important to know what's going on, so that if you feel like a Looney Tune for a few days there or on one night, you know why, okay? It's not just you, trust me. Okay, so there's that sense of, with evolution comes transformation, and this is a powerful transformational month and / year of change, okay? Now this month is a 5 vibration numerologically, universally, which is also a number of change and transformation and the unpredicted. So unpredicted surprises, shifts, a lot of things going on, that kind of thing. And then you'll have your own personal numbers, which will influence things too and sort of change the vibration for you. But I like to think of universal numerology energy as a kind of backdrop, and then you've got your own personal things going on, vibrations and, you know, numbers and astrology and so on. Okay, you know, we all have also challenges and gifts. Okay, so we all have gifts to share, and this is a great month to realize and be inspired, especially towards the end of the month. Actually, what's the date? No, sorry, the 17th of March. There is a new moon in Pisces, and whenever there's a new moon, it's about bringing in the new. So you really want to release before then, especially at the beginning of the month. I feel that there'll still be that residue eclipse energy hanging around, and also in preparation for a Mercury retrograde, which often can, you know, make things, you know, difficult. So that's on March 22nd for a few weeks there, Mercury retrograde. So when it comes to the new moon, it's a great time to pause, reflect, and you might even feel quite intuitive and inspired. And when it comes to that intuition and that sort of and that feeling of tapping into spirit and receiving messages for yourself and seeing the numbers like 1111, I feel that if you are a watery sign, or if you have 2 in your numbers, or 7, those kinds of numbers too, it's a highly influential year. Or if you're a master number in your numerology, it's a highly influential year for you, but also any energy sensitive that I said before, and we're all on our own life path. I feel that your talents, you might have felt empty, like where I thought I was sort of heading towards my life purpose, but then I feel confused, or like my vessel's empty and I'm not sure what's next, or there's a lull, or you're not sure. So with that, I would say be ready to fill that cup again and receive information that you need to be back on your path, because we're derailed and we're pulled down by the darkness, by all sorts of things, by negative events. I mean, you know, all these things that are happening out there in the world, politically, and you know, all that stuff. It does pull us down, and there are unfortunately individuals and energies out there that are there to keep us under control and pulled down. So we want to rise above, because we're in this great period of awakening, and so many more people are awakening this year. This is a great month for waking up, not just to reality and to higher meaning of life, but also exploring yourself, opening up and awakening, which is important. So with that, I feel that it's important to get really balanced and stay grounded. This year, being grounded is really important, which it is at any time, and to take a moment to really center yourself and feel secure within yourself, and explore how you can develop and open up your intuition, and also rekindle back your life force energy. So a lot of us have felt a bit depleted. So I'm still in February right now making this video, and yes, it has been intense with the eclipses and so on. So replenish your energy, find your way back to the light, and as soon as that happens, it's like everything turns inside out and a light is switched on, which is important. So spread your wings and fly is one of the key messages for this month. Also, letting go of anything holding you back, letting go of memories or loved ones in spirit, as in any grief and woes about loved ones that you have lost, or breakups, that kind of thing. Just letting it go, but with meaning and with light. So this is a really good message to incorporate that. So this card is showing to really honor and respect, and with the candle image. Candle is a beautiful, powerful, and I'm getting here, the angel is telling me a symbol of spirit, and right now they're saying that's really important, that word spirit. In fact, the angels are in. I love it when they chime in. So I'm just going to pause for a moment and just be allowing to receive this angel energy. And I've had one of my lovely viewers ask that I do this a bit more. So sometimes the angels just pop in, actually a lot of the time. So I'll just spend a bit more longer time on this. Okay. Allow yourself to receive. You might feel tingles or like goosebumps. You might feel warmth. And the angels are just here to comfort you. I feel like it's a very comforting energy right now. And for some of you, it might feel uplifting. You might feel like there's an emotional release, because I'm just feeling that now. So I'm just going to clear that emotional release out. If you feel you need to, just pause the video or come back to that part, because you will feel it every time. So I know that whenever the angels have popped in like that in the videos, and if I watch that video segment again, I feel it like just like it's happening right now. So, you know, the angels work across all time and space, okay? So be ready to absorb that. If you don't feel anything, that's okay. Just open yourself to receive, okay? So with that message of balance, it's also wholeness, keeping yourself whole, grounded, healthy, secure, and I really feel like you've gone through another massive cycle of realizing and releasing. So release those last bits, and though it might have felt like you haven't understood things, that book of wisdom's opening for you now, and I feel that a lot of light coming in despite the rocky paths. But often it's a journey, and we need to climb over those rocky mountains before we reach the beautiful sunshine and horizon of our lives and the rebirth. So welcome the rebirth now, and prepare for a brand new adventure. So thank you for listening. Love you loads and see you real soon.
Thank you for listening, and you can find more information on spiritual topics, online courses and my services at my website www.nataliacuna.com.